Hello to you, Emmanuel Shachaf.
Hello, hello.
What would be the headline of this interview, this report?
Going down.
Still going down?
Still going down.
Is there any hope?
There's a vague hope, maybe, but all things considered, the situation looks pretty bad.
Pretty bad because of?
Because the government is completely hell-bent on ruining the liberal democracy in Israel. No holds barred, and the opposition is in no position to do very much anything about it. And the people are too tired to go into the streets and at this time to bring about the required stop to the ongoings.
You know, people from the government are saying they're rebuilding the state of Israel. Now they're building their vision of democracy.
Their vision of democracy is not a democracy, it's an autocracy. They are erasing the separation of powers, which is already not too big in Israel, and they are taking steps against the judiciary, and they are causing very severe harm to the fabric.
Give me a few examples to the damage that you're seeing being actively done by the Israeli governments against what was known as the Israeli liberal democracy. What do you mean?
They're trying to cancel one of the principal laws, which is against governmental corruption, the law against fraud and breach of
interests, that people that are in the government and fighting against what is called the Israeli law and their ability to step forward and give service to the Israeli people. So why are they trying to refabricate it?
Because first of all, they want to help those people who are are threatened by the law, and quite a few of them belong to the governing coalition. And they, of course, also want to help Prime Minister Netanyahu, who, if the law would be cancelled, he would get off, his court case basically would be cancelled. You're
saying that it is what is calling in these international English testimonies the Bugs Bunny trial?
Yeah, well, it's obviously not a Bugs Bunny trial. And it has all elements of governmental corruption, but in order to make it possible to take him to court, they relied to this on this particular paragraph in the law, which they now want to change.
Let's talk about the fight against the Israeli Supreme Court, the judges. What basically is being done towards the international audience?
First of all, they try to delegitimize the president of the Supreme Court by spurious charges, which are really ridiculous. None of them held up in any kind of scrutiny. Mm-hmm. And now they're trying to take away from him his power to determine the judges who are sitting on each particular case. They are also considering a declaration by the Knesset that the Knesset will not accept any decision by the Supreme Court that affects basic laws, which is a clear declaration that they have no intention to listen to the judiciary. So they're systematically breaking down the judiciary and also working, of course, against the Attorney General at the same time, whose position they want to split into three and then make it political, so that the Attorney General's position will be completely diminished.
So that is going also to demolish the trial of Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yes, because if that happens, the Attorney General, who is also the government prosecutor, would disappear from the scene. This one.
Yet
somebody else who would be appointed by the government would take that position.
But you can see that people are saying, well, there might be acceptable that there is a conflict of interest, that in the same position there are 2 or 3 different perspectives that are combined in Israel to one person that contains too much power?
There's been arguing for a long time that this position has to be possibly changed, but not in the way which is being suggested by the government. The government is not only trying to split up the position into 3, but is also trying to make it political, meaning that the people who will hold those positions will be political appointees. And that is completely against the separation of powers.
What about the rules against the Israeli means of communication?
The media. Well, there's a concerted effort to basically make the media compliant by forcing them to certain standards and certain regulations that the government is preparing. And the freedom of the media would be completely lost. As it is, we already, I think, freedom of the media in Israel, we're on place on number 126 in a list of 180 countries or something like that. So the situation is pretty bad as it is, and the government is hell-bent on deteriorating it even further.
You know, and the people are seeing more and more Channel 14 in Israel. They're seeing the news there, they're seeing primetime shows there.
Mm-hmm.
It became a super legit TV channel.
Yes.
Though it reflects all what you're saying, the government's position, perspective, and they're saying, well, it's not total loss, it's not lost at all. It's the recreation of the new Israel.
Well, it's a recreation of the new Israel in a fashion that is not liberal and not democratic, and is not something I'm sure that in the end most people would support. Maybe momentarily one could get some support for some of the actions the government is proposing, but in the long run, everybody has to be aware of the fact that we're going down a very slippery slope, and we're going faster as I'm speaking.
And talking about faster and slippery, the budget, the money that is going towards the Israeli Defense Forces in the coming year would be...
We have a budget right now which is between 120 and 130 billion shekels. Okay, that's a huge sum. That's from before this October 7th, we were at 50 or 60 billion shekels. Okay, it's basically doubled. Now, in this situation, Netanyahu proposes to stop the American aid over a period of 10 years, which means that the army needs to up the defense budget even more to make up for that loss of about $4 billion. Now, that will make the defense budget to go up to 140, 150 billion shekels, which is something that Israel can't bear, especially not as long as we don't employ the Haredi population gainfully, and we improve our productivity. So the economy is going to be hit. Now, Netanyahu did that all on his own. He didn't consult with anybody. He didn't have a government session to decide whether that should be done.
Maybe that is part of the side effect of this Donald Trump, the President of the United States era. People that are dominant, they're ruling their countries basically alone, and people love it.
Yeah, they first of all, not too many people love it. You can see, especially you can see also with Donald Trump, that his support in the population in the United States is going down. And they may like it on the short run, but on the long run, and the run may not be, it won't last too long, then they'll realize what danger is created by such kind of government.
When you're saying it wouldn't last too long, would you basically say that in the state of Israel, in the coming year, you're seeing that it's going to be continue this process that you're seeing, or the elections are going to stop it?
Well, the elections are going to stop it if the right guys get elected. If Netanyahu and his coalition regains power after the elections, we're going to continue to go down.
You're going to be staying in Israel in that?
I'm too old to start a new career somewhere else, unless it really gets bad. But I'm afraid that too many people are considering what to do if this continues.
So you're saying that maybe the situation at the end of 2026 is going to be complete and formal, total loss for the Israeli liberal democracy, and yet you're going to be staying here and fighting.
Yeah, I'll stay here. As I said, probably because there's nobody who's willing to take me at my ripe old age. But no, also to make it worthwhile.
You know, you're going to another international conference in the coming weeks. The main message that you would like to reflect, maybe with hope and bright, and that message would be towards the people that you're going to be meeting there in Europe?
That the fight for peace must continue, and that there's future at the end of there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's based in cooperation, not in separation. And
the new international book.
The new book, which is calling for shared sovereignty, which the pictures of the Dutch version, it's being published also in English in a short while, and a Hebrew and an Arabic version are in preparation.
That's amazing. So there is a light.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Just hope it's not the train coming from the other direction.
People that want to be on the right side of the train, looking for Emanuel Shachaf.
On Facebook, or Identity, the Quest for Israel's Future, or the Federation Movement.
Emanuel Shachaf, I want to thank you very, very much.
Thank you.